What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Carlos. The homie Sean is on vacation this weekend, so I'm going to be breaking down this episode solo dolo. So let's get into it. All right, so we are here with the season finale, episode 9 of The Last of Us, titled Look for the Light. And damn, this episode was crazy. I personally loved it. It's gonna get a high rating for me at the end when I'm done. But yeah, let's get into it. So it starts out with Ellie's mom, Anna, running through the woods, running to the house, trying to find some safety because she's getting chased by a infected runner. She holds up inside the top of the house, and she's like ready to give birth, like she's ready to pop out. The runner does break into the room. She fights off the runner and stabs the runner. But before that, the runner does bite her in the leg. So after she's done killing the runner, you see the baby on the floor, which is kind of crazy. The baby just popped out. So yeah, so she gets the knife and she cuts the umbilical cord, ties it up, and is just chilling there. We get Marlene with it's like another guy that walks up to the house and finds her with the baby. Anna tells her that she cut the umbilical cord before she got bit, which she was lying, but she was just trying to save Ellie's life. And for the people that don't play the game, Anna, Ellie's mom, is actually the one that voices Ellie in the game. So it was pretty cool to hear her talk, and like you just hear Ellie from the game. I don't know. It was kind of tripping me out, but it was cool. It was cool to see that they put her in the show. So anyways, so we go back to present time. Ellie's still pretty like fucked up after what happened. So she's pretty much thinking about that. Joel's trying to joke around with her and stuff, but she's kind of fucked up right now. So they go into this building and she runs off because she sees something cool, I guess. So Joel chases her and they get to the giraffe scene, which is from the game, which was pretty cool. Like it was a cool CGI giraffe, which I think it was CGI. It looks CGI, but like the tongue was all like out and it looked pretty crazy. But yeah, so she feeds the giraffe and the giraffe walks off and goes off with the herd. So I'm guessing after that they went up higher, found the hospital, and now they're walking in the street towards the hospital. And she pulls out the pun book and she starts going over like the terrible puns, and they're kind of laughing at it. And you see a stun grenade get thrown behind them, and it goes off and they're both just laying on the floor stunned. You see some people take Ellie, and then Joel gets like the gun butt to the back of the head and gets knocked out. Wakes up inside the hospital, where Marlene is right there with him, and Marlene's basically telling him that they prepped Ellie for surgery, and she's basically explaining that the only way to get the cure is for them to do surgery, which they would have to open up her brain basically and extract the cordyceps in there, because basically they say that because she got bit, or her mom got bit and kind of transferred it through the baby. It's kind of like a Blade thing, if you guys ever seen Blade. So she's like half and half, but she's immune because of that, because she got like a little bit of cordyceps, and they kind of changed the way that her brain kind of blocks off the cordyceps, so that way she's immune to it. So he figures that out, and he upfront tells her like, like, I don't want that to happen, like I need to go rescue her. And she says no, and she instructs her men to take him downstairs and take him outside. Just he can take his stuff, but he has to go outside. So they're doing that, and on the way, like you obviously know Joel's gonna get the upper hand, and the way that this fool was just like killing people was crazy. Like for me, playing that part in the game was so hard, and like you're going up like flights of steps, or yeah, you're going up a lot of floors basically, and you're just killing like a lot of people. And this dude just went through like John Wicked his way all the way up to the operating room. So he gets in the operating room. He tells the doctor to let her go, untie her, and he says no, grabs a knife. And I mean, Joel right now is just ruthless. He has one goal, and that goal is just to save Ellie. So he shoots the doctor, tells the nurses to take off the tubes and stuff, and they do that, and he carries her out. So they end up in the garage, and Marlene was hiding out, kind of waiting for them, because I think she knew that they were gonna go look for a kind of transport. She puts down the gun, saying they're not gonna get far, that she's always gonna be running from something. So Ellie wakes up in the truck, and she's wondering why she was drugged, and Joel is explaining to her that there were a bunch of other people just like her, and they were not able to find a cure even with them. So with her, there was going to be no point in even trying. So he took her out of there because he told her that they were being raided, and she asked if anybody got hurt, and he said yeah. So she feels kind of bad. She wants to know where her clothes are. He says they're gonna get some more clothes on the way back to Tommy's. So, and then it does a flashback back to Marlene and Joel, where they're talking about Ellie always being on the run, and Joel pretty much shoots her because she's always gonna leave. She's always gonna be chasing them, basically. So he had to kill Marlene to make sure that Ellie was safe, and to pretty much make sure that just to kind of cut off like any loose ends. But he left the nurses alive, so I think that's gonna play a big part in next season, because there are people that are gonna say what exactly happened, and that's all I'm gonna say about that, because that's kind of spoilerish. But yeah, so there's gonna be a season 2. They already announced it. Super excited for that. So continuing on, basically at the end, Ellie just wants to make sure that Joel is telling the truth, and Joel says that he's telling the truth, and he swears, and she believes him. And so now they're gonna make their way back to the town, and that's credits. So I kind of just want to talk about the whole series as a whole. I know me and Sean were gonna do that, but he's not here, and I don't know when we're gonna be able to talk about it again. But I feel like the series was really good. The acting was done really well. Ellie, I totally believe that Bella Ramsey pulled it off, and she was Ellie for us. Joel, the same time. I mean, Pedro Pascal is doing a great job in everything that he's doing, especially in The Mandalorian. He's killing that shit. For the story wise, I felt like it was pretty good, but I felt like they rushed it. It was only 9 episodes. Episode 1 was basically 2 episodes crammed into one, so that's why we would have gotten 10 episodes, but they explain why they put those 2 episodes into 1 episode. So 9 episodes overall. I felt like the story was kind of rushed in some parts, and then some parts they really filled it with filler. So I feel like I know it was episode 3 with Bill and Frank. They spent that whole episode talking about Bill and Frank and their story arc, which was fine. The story arc was cool, but I feel like they could have spent more time with Joel and Ellie building that bond that we see in the game. We kind of missed out on that because they chose to kind of deviate from the storyline. But other than that, I feel like for a show about an apocalypse with with the runners and the clickers and the infected and stuff like that, it didn't really show as much as infected as I wanted. I could have done with a lot more. I'm not sure what was going on with like the budget wise, but when there were clickers on screen, like they did that shit really good. Like I feel like they did it really well, but I just wanted to see more of it. It would have been cool if they would have shown more time surviving. And I know this is a show about people surviving and stuff like that, and I think the scariest thing that they had to deal with was other people. You get that with David, you get that with the lady from Kansas City. And I get it. They can't just have hordes coming all the time. So I'll just go into my rating for the whole season. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I really loved the show. It compared really well with the game. I felt like a lot of the times I was watching cutscenes from the game. It was that good, especially in the first episode. It was pretty much like shot for shot, and yeah. But I only give it a 9 out of 10 because I wanted more infected. They did change the storyline a little bit, but the little bit that they did, it didn't really matter. At least to me, I still felt like the show was really good, and the parts that they did change were still like really good. You know, you got the Bill and Frank storyline, which is really good. They went to Kansas City instead of Pittsburgh, which didn't really matter. Um, they did add the kind of like that hive system for the cordyceps, and they never touched on it again. It was kind of just like it happened in episode 2 when Tess died. That's how they had all the infected run towards her, because one of the infected were on the floor, and then you see like the little like cordyceps going into the body, and that infected was pretty much telling them what happened, and that's why they sent all that horde over there. And that was pretty much the last time we got any of that. So I wish they would have paid it off in the end. We did get that big horde when they left Kansas City, which was really cool. We got the bloater, and then we got that the little kid, like clicker, half infected, or half runner. She was a little kid like doing like little gymnastic flips over the seats in the car, which was pretty cool. But yeah, so 9 out of 10. I felt like they did a really good job on this whole season. I'm excited for next season, and we'll be here because I feel like because it was such a good show that we shouldn't stop doing the podcast for it. So with that, my name is Carlos. The homie Sean's on vacation, and he'll be back in a couple weeks, but hope you're having fun, bro. I'll see you later. Bye guys.